we have created a planning and preparation security checklist for you. Now, here's where this comes from. It comes from over 20 years of doing assessment work, writing emergency management plans, planning physical security operations for private Christian schools, churches, homeschool co-ops, preschools, nuclear and chemical facilities, data centers, you name it. We've created those programs, and we've got a checklist for you so that you can go into, check it off, look at it, make sure that you're meeting all the elements, and it will for sure help you safeguard your facility at the beginning of that school year, beginning of the fiscal year, whenever you're starting this process, to ensure that you've got all the elements you need to safeguard your people, your facilities, and the information that you need protecting. Let's talk about your security assessments. You've got somebody come in from the outside to do a security assessment for you. What does that need to look like? Number one, make sure the person is trained and certified to conduct that assessment, whether that person's board certified through ASIS or they've got some sort of training certification and some sort of methodology in conducting security and risk assessments. Number two, the assessment should cover a couple things. One, it should include a threat assessment. So the problems or the threats that your facility face, okay? Also in that assessment, there should also be included what your current security posture is. So what are you doing now? What does security operations look like? So that needs to be evaluated. It also needs to include a vulnerability assessment or the security weaknesses that currently exist in your facility. And then of course, in that report also should be included opportunities for improvement or the countermeasures that you need implemented to fix those vulnerabilities. So the emergency action plan is a written document that provides you information on one, the hazards that are most likely to impact your workplace or your facility. Number two, the training that is required for your employees, your staff, your volunteers to respond to those hazards. And number three, those protocols that are going to be required based on the training, they're going to help you mitigate and eliminate or neutralize those hazards or those workplace emergencies. If you're going to bring in an outside person, like a contract security organization in your state, here's what you need to look for. Number one, make sure that that company is licensed with that state, if that licensing exists, if that's a requirement for your state. And number two, make sure that they are insured. So make sure that they've got the right insurance. The next thing that you need to ask is for their certificate of insurance and then some sort of a security services agreement. Now here's what the security service agreement of the SSA outlines for both the contract security company and for you. It's going to tell them the scope of what they are covered to provide. So if you're a school or a church or preschool, all insurance does it covers that. That could be a specialized service. So ensure the contract security company that you are actually using or you're planning to use, look at their security services agreement and make sure that they cover churches, schools, etc. The next thing I need to look for and ask for, especially if you're paying a $40 to a $60 an hour bill rate, which is, especially if you're here in Middle Tennessee, that's exactly what you're going to be paying. You need to make sure that those security officers have policies and procedures that tell them what to do while they're protecting your facility, because that's not your responsibility, that's the contract security company's responsibility, and they need to provide that. And then also a security plan. So the security plan is going to outline what it is that they do, what it is that you're doing, and how that corporation, that company, the security company brings that together to protect your facility. And that's also a written document. And if you're paying that enhanced bill rate, then the security company also needs to provide that. And then just make sure the security officers that come in that are protecting your facility, are they trained and are they actually capable to provide those services? What most people are worried about today is the active assailant. Well, I would want to make sure that one, the security officers that we're paying for, that you're paying for, are both trained and equipped to provide some sort of a response for that, and they have the equipment that's necessary to be able to provide that response. Now, everything for us is about prevention, so we would always suggest that you look at those preventative measures. But if that's not something you're concerned with at this time, and you're just looking at what security services provide, it's on that checklist, those things we just talked about. Now, if you have any more questions about that, you can always contact us at contact@michaelmannsecurityservices.com, or you can call us at 615-956-3912. And remember, folks, it's about prevention.